Why did I say it like that?
Yeah, it was snowing in Champaign, apparently.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's great.
Nasty. Very glad I'm not there for that.
I mean,
Sir.
it's not gonna, like, stick or anything, but
it's the principle of the thing. I don't want to be
Right.
in the snow yet. Excuse me.
Oh.
It was Shannon this time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shannon
Hi,
has
buddy.
to put to the burp jar.
I
We should have
know.
one of those.
Right. For
Okay.
once.
I'm literally sitting here holding my headphone cord up so that Sheldon can't get to it. Don't climb on my computer. Buddy.
Do you need to kick him out?
I don't know.
Sounds
No,
like
I'll
you need
just
to
leave
kick
him in
out.
here. Ow! He just bit me. No, he's gone. Leave. Go away.
I was wondering how long it would last.
Well, now Maisie's
he's
sitting.
fine.
I had the door, like, cracked so that I could still hear them.
Yeah.
So now Maisie's standing at the door crying because I know we haven't even done the intro yet, but the other day, so Sheldon's litter box is down in the basement, so Allie just leaves that door propped open, and Maisie
Yeah.
goes down there, probably to eat out of the litter box. I haven't officially caught her yet, but that's probably what she's doing.
Tasty treats. Tootsie Rolls.
And-
Most likely.
Yeah, and a couple days ago, she started barking, and we were like, what could you possibly be barking at? You're in the basement. And I went over and looked. The door was cracked, like, enough for Sheldon to get in. And I don't know how she got down there without opening the door more. Or maybe she was already down there and we closed it. I'm not sure. She thought she was stuck in the basement, even though the door was open. It just wasn't
That's
open
like the
enough.
one time she got stuck in my room because she, like, pushed her way past the baby gate but then wouldn't go back the other direction.
Uh-huh. Well, because she thinks she can't open doors. She doesn't know that she can push on doors, which I'm fine with. It makes my life a lot easier that she knows that she can't open doors, like, generally.
Yeah, I mean, Daisy opened a door and then went to prison, so it's probably for the
Yeah.
best.
May, quit crying, baby. It's okay. And now she's sitting outside the door crying because me and Sheldon are both in here.
Sorry, the motorcycle's in my room now.
That's okay.
Sheldon, you
Okay,
spoke
did
too
hear
soon.
it, but even that is clear.
Yeah.
So,
Can we do the intro and then...
yes.
You're the one talking.
No, I know. I have a lot happening in this room right
I know.
now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hey guys. Thanks for listening to The Triad, where we're spooky but sensitive. I'm Shelby.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Shannon.
Hi.
Okay. Do we have any announcements?
No.
I have a giant cold sore. It's
Gross.
really gross.
Oh, that's not fun. Those are the worst.
Yeah. Hannah got a new microphone, which I
She
am
did.
very excited
You
about.
can hear my
Yes.
beautiful bedroom voice.
Is that it?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm really out of it because not having an actual schedule suddenly for 2 weeks is disorienting.
Yeah.
I barely know what day it is. So
Yeah, I think I said it before we started recording, but sorry if I sound like I want to murder someone. It's just because I'm tired because I've been dealing with sleep paralysis the last couple of nights.
yeah,
So,
you sound less murderous than you normally sound.
yeah, I've
when
been
you say
awake
that.
since 3 a.m. and I am on my third
Gross.
Dr. Pepper of the day. So,
I'm also drinking Dr. Pepper. Look at that.
yeah. So, you know,
Gross.
it's the caffeine.
Yeah, sure.
Right. But I picked a, like, amusing topic, hopefully. So,
Yeah. Okay.
you know.
That is a great segue into what are we talking about today? Do you have a PowerPoint?
Today, I have a PowerPoint. It is in the episode 73 folder.
Look at us
in
being
the-
prepared.
Triad.
Yay!
Oh.
Yay!
You guys know him?
I kind of do, but I don't know, like, the details.
Okay, I don't
So-
go, like, super in depth because it would take too long and I don't want to be here all night.
Yeah.
But today we are going to be talking about Emperor Norton the First and only.
Well,
the
yeah.
Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. He's a beautiful, delightful man.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like to go to slide 2, This is just a picture of him that amuses me. And also, Hannah, I think that Thomas should be him for Halloween next year.
I'll pass the message along. Hold on, I'm literally taking a picture for him right now.
I love that. I love that. It just seems like up his alley, even though I've never met him, but like...
Oh yeah,
just
that's
seems...
up his alley. He already
Literally
has
all we know
the...
is Civil War adjacent activities, so, you know.
Right, and
has
he's
the
dating
uniform.
you, and it just seems right. That's all.
Why can't I open our chats?
Rude.
Okay, this is stupid.
But yeah, anyway, so this is Joshua Abraham Norton. He was born on February 4th, but the year of his birth is has an odd amount of discrepancy to it. I will get into it. Most likely he was born in 1818 to John Norton and Sarah Norton. Those are two different names, but way too close. And then his father, John, was a farmer and a merchant, and Joshua was most likely born in the town of Deptford in Kent, England. Okay. So as for like the year of his birth, this isn't really important. I just thought it was amusing that there's like so much debate over what year he was born. But the best evidence points to February 4th, 1818. However, obituaries after his death cited the plate on his coffin as saying he was around 65 years old. And he died in 1880, I believe. So that led people to believe that he was born in 1815. But then a biographer, why did I say it like that? A biographer for Norton named William Drury states that the around 65 years old was just a guess that Norton's landlady gave to the coroner upon his death.
Okay.
Yeah,
he might be 65. I don't really.
I don't know. He's around
Can I
that
get his
age,
last month's
whatever.
rent?
Yeah.
And then in 1923, an essay was published by the California Historical Society, which claimed that Norton was born in 1819. So basically, no one really knows.
Okay.
And yeah, and there's like a couple other like essays or like historical things that like cite different years. It's usually like 1819, 1818, or 1815. So it's one of those. But like,
that's not like that wide a range that
right, exactly. And the fact that like his like the plate on his coffin said around 65 years old, I'm like, okay, well the difference between 1815 and 1818 is 2 years. So like that falls within around 65 years old in my mind.
Yeah.
But
it's fine.
You know, if you want to debate the dude's age, go for it.
Yeah.
But yes. Okay, so if you want to go to slide 3, this is just a picture of South Africa because I needed a picture. But in 1820, the Norton family moved to South Africa. It was part of a colonization scheme that was backed by the British government.
Scheme.
Yeah, which is gross and, you know, white people. But anyway, we don't really know much about that or like what the family did there or anything about his life before he moved to the United States. We just know that he like basically grew up in South Africa. Although a fun little note to what year he was born, the records of the passengers on the ship that carried them there say that Joshua was 2 years old in 1820, which is why most people think it was 1818 is when he was born. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Either way. Well, I guess it kind of matters, but not really. He's not a super important historical figure. He's just a fun one.
He's gonna haunt your ass tonight. Like
oh, yes, he is. Look. I would accept him as the Emperor of the United States today. I would. Based off of most of the decrees that he gave. But yeah, this was more just because I wanted another slide. But yeah, the family moved to South Africa. Don't really know anything about that. And then, so slide 4.
Okay.
So, According to legend, Joshua Norton sailed from South Africa to San Francisco on a ship called the Francesca.
That's a
and
cool
it landed,
spelling.
I know. I was like, is this the Russian version of Francesca?
It's the zesty version for sure.
It is. It's probably, I don't know, Dutch.
Dutch or German, looks like.
Yeah. Yeah,
Either
most
way.
likely.
Yeah.
But anyway, the ship supposedly landed on November 23rd, 1849. They say he arrived with $40,000, which he had inherited from his father's estate, which, like, in 1849, that's a shit ton of money.
That's more money than
Yeah.
I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
I did not do the math on what that would be in today's currency because
It's fine.
I just know that that's a shit ton.
Yeah. The
Because
inflation
40,000.
calculator.
Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't go back that far. So
Yeah.
the one that's like available from like the US government. So if you want to find out, you have to like do more digging, and that's
And I don't want to do that math. I just know that $40,000 is more money than I will ever have in the bank. And for him to have that, 170 years ago is too much. That being said, absolutely none of that information has been corroborated in any way by any like official records or documentation, but it sure does
Cool.
sound cool.
yeah.
What we do actually know is that upon his arrival to San Francisco, Norton was rather successful. He was successful in commodities markets and real estate speculation. So he was actually like one of the most prosperous and respected citizens in San Francisco as of 1852. So he did actually have a fair amount of money at one point.
The hell?
My
Do you have a
God.
tugboat outside?
No, it's the motorcycle.
I heard it a little bit ago, and I was like, "Is someone like vibrating?" Like I didn't know what it was,
No,
but
it's-
it's the
I
motorcycle.
live on the busiest road in Maine. It's
Literally
really fucking
sounds
annoying.
like a tugboat.
No, that would be the motorcycle. One of the motorcycles. Or it might be my neighbor's car. They have a teenager who, like, works on a car all day, every day, and, like, he then does, like, peels out of the driveway and drives
Gross.
as fast as he can at a 35, and I'm like, actually, it's 25
Yeah.
past his house, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but anyway.
He's having fun, enjoying his youth.
No, it's
Okay,
just
but,
being
like,
annoying.
don't do it at 10 o'clock at night.
I
That's all
say
I'm
that,
asking.
but when the guy across the street from like my parents' house, he was like volunteering with the fire department, and so he would leave at like 3 a.m. regularly, and he had like made his truck as loud as humanly possible, and every single time he would like leave that early in the morning, I was like, I'm gonna murder you, I'm gonna slit your throat.
By a guy across the street, you mean my ex-boyfriend?
I do mean your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because his brother moved out a while
It's a small
ago.
town
Yeah, I know.
after all.
It is a fucking small town.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just know that like it doesn't make you cool if your car is loud. It just makes you annoying
No.
to your neighbors.
Well, he's annoying, so that makes sense.
Well, there is that. But you know. Anyway. But yeah, so as of 1852, he was one of the most prosperous and respected citizens of San Francisco. Also, this is a picture of San Francisco supposedly from the 1850s, or like a rendition, but I don't actually know. I just Googled 1850s San Francisco, and this is what popped up, so there you go.
Yeah.
Have a picture. All right, slide 5. So, in 1852, Norton thought that he saw a great new business opportunity in the import of rice. So basically, at the time, China was dealing with a severe famine, and so they had placed a ban on the export of rice, which caused the price of rice to rise significantly. It went from 4 cents per pound to 36 cents per pound,
Holy shit.
Wow.
which is a pretty significant increase in price.
Yeah.
And Norton happened to hear that there was a ship coming in from Peru with 200,000 pounds of rice. So when that ship landed, he bought the entire load for about 12 cents per pound, which was about $25,000. And basically, like, he was hoping to kind of just, like, monopolize the market of rice. However, shortly after he purchased all of this rice, several other ships arrived from Peru with loads of rice.
Great.
And therefore, the price of rice dropped again and then became 3 cents per pound.
Oh, no.
And he had just paid 12 cents per pound. So, he was going to have a significant loss on this rice. So he immediately tried to back out of the purchase, and basically, like, claimed that he was misled about the quality of the rice and all this stuff. And due to that, he was involved in prolonged litigation with the rice dealers. It lasted for about 3 or 4 years.
Jesus Christ.
I know. But basically, Norton won in the lower courts, but somehow the case made its way to the Supreme Court of California, which you probably know that whole, like, process much better than I do.
I can explain it if you really want me to. Basically, people just kept appealing, and then it got up to the Supreme Court of California. That's all it is.
Okay.
People weren't happy.
Yeah, those Peruvians weren't fucking around.
Yeah.
Right? They were like, no, you bought the fucking rice, so you gotta pay me for the fucking rice.
Yeah, and since it's a civil suit, either side can appeal, no matter, like, if, or they can both appeal at the same time if they didn't like the previous ruling in some way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all it is. They just kept appealing until it kept going higher and higher and higher.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, so the case made its way to the Supreme Court of California, and they ruled against Norton. And so, let's see, the Lucas Turner and Company Bank basically, like, foreclosed all of his real estate holdings in North Beach, in order to settle his debt.
Ouch.
That's rough. Ooh.
Yeah. So, Norton filed for bankruptcy.
Yep.
As you do. And then by 1858, he was living in a working class boarding house with very little to his name. So he basically, like, lost everything on
Pursuing over some rice.
Yep. For this rice. Like, at that point, like, you almost might have been better just taking the losses and, like...
He probably would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because, like, this might be more detailed than we want to get into, but, like, if a case back then is taking that long to get through, you are racking up an insane amount of attorney's fees. Because back then, like, I know nowadays it's, like, more normal for cases to not even go to trial for, like, a year, if not longer than that.
Right, but, like, this is the 1850s.
Yeah, back then, you were, like, and this is a criminal, so it's going to be, but, like, you know, if you're arrested, you're going to jail in, like, or you're going to trial in, like, a month. Like,
right. So, yeah.
And the same was, like, it was the same concept for civil suits. So for it to take that long, like, he racked up so much in attorney's fees.
Yeah. And then, like, by that point, I don't know if there was, like, interest on, like, his debt and stuff like that. And so...
Well, he probably had to pay for the other side's attorney's fees, too.
Yeah.
So that also
well, and what he owed them for the rice was $25,000.
Yeah, and what he owed him for the rice, and then maybe damages, so, like, and who knows, but...
Yeah, so, like, either way, like,
so
man
much
lost
money.
Everything
over some rice. Yeah.
Yeah. Which, like, if those other ships hadn't showed up, like... That would have been amazing, but...
yeah, well, for him.
Right, yeah. Not for anyone who wanted to buy rice, but...
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
He still could have sold the rice. Like,
I know.
He just would have been at a loss, but it would have been less of a loss than this. 'Cause,
exactly, like, take the less of a loss, like, move on.
Yeah.
And, yeah, but...
Whatever. Too late now.
To each their own. If you would like to go to slide 6. So by
He looks so bummed out in that picture.
I know.
I lost everything to rice.
So by 1859, Norton was rather discontented with what he considered to be the inadequacies of the legal and political structures of the United States.
Okay.
Which is just a fancy way of saying that he was annoyed that he lost.
Yeah.
But
like, you volunteered to go through this court case. Like,
right,
it's literally your fault.
But
okay, dude.
Nah, I mean, typical white dude. He's not wrong in any way. But yeah, so as one does, on September 17th, 1959, due to his annoyance with the U.S. government, Joshua Norton hand-delivered this letter to George Fitch, the editor of the San Francisco Evening Bulletin. So, the letter reads, "At the peremptory request and desire of a large majority of the citizens of these United States, I, Joshua Norton, formerly of Algoa Bay, Cape of Good Hope, and now for the last 9 years and 10 months past of San Francisco, California, declare and proclaim myself Emperor of these United States, and in virtue of the authority thereby in me vested, do hereby order and direct the representatives of the different states of the Union to assemble in Musical Hall of this city on the 1st day of February next, then and there to make such alterations in the existing laws of the Union as may ameliorate the evils under which the country is laboring, and thereby cause confidence to exist, both at home and abroad, in our stability and integrity. Signed, Norton the First, Emperor of the United States."
Oh my god. He's like the original sovereign citizen. This is hysterical.
I love it so much. So the editor of that paper, Fitch, he printed the letter just for humor's sake.
Why would you not print that letter?
I know.
Come on.
Like, the fact that this dude just, like, hand delivers you a letter that claims that he is now the Emperor of the United States, I'd be like, yeah, front page, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, we are doing this.
Wait, real quick. Hannah, you still there?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm just
You're good.
suddenly very tired.
Okay.
I understand. I understand. But yeah, so they printed his proclamation, his decree of his sovereign reign, and thus began Emperor Norton I's 21-year reign over America.
Wow, I wish we learned this in history.
I know. But yeah, so if you would like to go to slide 7. Again, these are all just pictures of Emperor Norton. Because how could I not put pictures of him?
Yeah.
He's just such a great historical figure.
And there is apparently a lot of pictures of him, which is surprising given the time.
Right?
Because back then it was like, you get the one when you go off to war, and then the one where you're dead and your family's standing around you.
Right.
Your eyes
That's
glued
it.
open.
Well, right. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so during his reign, Norton issued many decrees on matters of state. In one on October 12th, 1959, he demanded to formally...
I'm sorry, what year?
You mean 1859?
1859. My bad. I wrote the wrong year.
No, you're fine. I was just like, wait. How
Now
old
we're in
was
the
this man?
60s.
No. He was long dead before
Yes.
1959.
I was like, I feel like we're
1859.
skipping over the more important aspect of this story.
He's
Right.
a time
Man
traveler.
is immortal.
We just jumped 100 years. Don't mind us.
Okay, 1850.
Yes,
Please keep your
1859.
hands and arms inside the time machine at all times.
Yes. God, now I just want a Doctor Who episode on this man.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
But, like, I wish it was a David Tennant Doctor Who episode.
Yes, obviously.
Anyway, moving on. Okay, so October 12th, 1859. He demanded to formally abolish Congress, claiming fraud and corruption prevent a fair and proper expression of the public voice, that open violation of the laws are constantly occurring, caused by mobs, parties, factions, and undue influence of political sects, that the citizen has not the protection of person and property which he is entitled.
I mean, I'm not going
wrong.
to disagree with him on
Right.
those points.
Like, by those points, I'm like,
He's
okay,
not
I follow
wrong.
this dude. Like,
You could be my emperor.
Well, especially
also
in
the fact
fucking,
that, like, that's still relevant in 2021. Like,
yeah, like in the 1850s,
long live Emperor Norton.
we were in a hot mess and a half in the 1850s in Congress. Like,
We were. And this dude hated Congress. Like, hated Congress.
again, I get it.
Right? And then, yeah,
He
so
ain't
he
wrong.
held that,
Yeah.
or he called for that assembly upon his, like, decree of claiming he's emperor, to remedy the evil complained of before, and blah, blah, blah. And then the next month after this, so basically in November of 1859, he made an imperial decree for the army to depose the elected officials of the U.S.
Oh
Congress.
God.
So, like, this dude was serious in the
He
fact
wanted
that
a
he
whole
was like,
military coup.
Congress, like, get the fuck out.
Oh my God.
Obviously, the army ignored this decree because they're
What?
like, this kook from San Francisco wants us to do what?
But
Yeah,
he's the
like-
emperor.
I know. Yeah, and Congress, like, kept on doing Congress's bullshit
I have a
without
question.
formally acknowledging the decree in any way.
Yeah,
What is your question?
that's kind of my question. Did they ever, like, respond to him, or did they just flat out
No.
ignore him? Oh, that's
They
no
just, like,
fun.
They just flat out were like, nah, bro, you're like other side of the country. We're not even like a
That's
real country yet.
disappointing.
Like, stop. I know,
Fine.
like, I wish they had, like, invite him to Congress to, like, speak.
Or even just, like,
Or just, like-
reprimanded him or something, or just...
Or, like, issue
Literally
a
anything.
statement of some
Yeah.
sort to be like,
Please
come
come
here
out
and
your
get
grievances, oh sovereign.
Yeah.
Right.
Although, again, it was, like, right about to be the Civil War. They were busy. Like...
Right, yeah.
Busy
Speaking
falling
of-
apart.
Yeah.
Right. I am just now realizing that, like, I did not need this many slides for the amount of information I'm putting per slide, but I just wanted to fit in all these pictures of him, so,
That's
like...
fine.
Anyway, slide
That's
8.
I like these pictures. They're good.
I love this
I know.
picture. I
I
want
love
this framed
one.
in my
It's
house.
so great. It's so great. So Norton basically fought against the U.S. government for the rest of his life. Like, he
Fought,
tried to
quote, unquote.
dissolve Congress for his entire reign as emperor.
I
He really
declare
fucking hated them.
This is my favorite thing ever.
royal boxing match.
Hi, Sheldon. Guess who's coming back? Hi, buddy.
Oh, Sheldon,
If
please
you bite
don't.
me again, I will punt you across the room this time, buddy.
Yeah, meow, motherfucker.
Right. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that was Sheldon's inner thoughts.
He's so mad. Can you hear him growling right now? Hi, buddy.
No.
Well, because Maisie's still just sitting at the door with her empty eyes, just so sad.
They're big dumb eyes.
No thoughts, only cat.
Friend?
If it's
She's
not
so
in my line
sad.
of vision, I don't think about it.
She's so sad that the cat won't play with her. She just wants to be friends.
Oh my goodness.
And Sheldon does not.
No. Sheldon, like, lived on top of the fridge for like 3 days straight.
No, he's been on top of the fridge this entire time I've been here.
Really?
Yes. Like, he just hangs out on top of the fridge now because, like, he wants to be in the same room, but he doesn't
Yeah.
want to go near Maisie. So he sits
Oh
on
my
top of the fridge because she can't get to him.
Poor Sheldon. He was
Ugh.
like, first,
My
first,
best
my
friend
best
dies."
friend died. And then you brought this thing.
I know. Well, and then, like, Allie's talking about getting a dog in the spring, and I'm like, buddy, he's gonna not handle that very well.
Right, because, like, it took Yuki about a month, or about a week to get over her, like, fear of being around Maisie, and, like,
Yeah.
she wanted to be in the same room as me, and so she was like, okay, fine, whatever. It took her about a month to be, like, okay with Maisie. And even now, she's Yuki, and she's a demon and a bitch, but, you know. But for the most part, like, I can tell that she's bored with Maisie being gone, so, like, I'm excited for Maisie to come back, but, like, I don't know how Sheldon would do with a dog.
I know. He would hate it, because he hates it right now.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair,
maybe if it was like a puppy dog, and he could,
well, that's
like,
the thing. She wants a puppy. The thing is, if Maisie wasn't stupid, and if she would just leave him the fuck alone, it would be fine. Right. But she won't. Because she's
just like, but friends. We're friends now.
She's like, we're friends. Well, and then she still thinks that he's playing because that's how Yuki plays, is by hissing and swatting. And so she's like, this is how cats interact.
She doesn't understand his signals because Yuki doesn't know how to cat. So she's like, hissing and swatting means that we're playing because that's how Yuki plays. Playing.
Yeah. So that doesn't
it's
help.
It's because my cat is stupid. And your dog is stupid, and their stupidity together just
it was an idiot training an idiot. It just didn't go very well.
Right. Oh my goodness.
That's okay.
I'm sending you guys a video right now. I may have sent it to you before. Yeah. But
that's fine.
It's just this conversation's reminding me of it.
I love that.
Anyway,
watch at your leisure.
Okay. Yes. So, anyway, back to our emperor. May he rest in peace.
Long live the emperor.
Yes. Long live Emperor Norton the First and only. In 1862, he issued a mandate to the Roman Catholic Church and to the Protestant churches. To publicly ordain him as emperor.
Okay.
Again, obviously, they were like, yeah, nah, bro.
Okay.
We're good.
I have a question. Actually, I have several questions, but Catholic Church, one unified body. Protestantism, not one unified body. So who did he tell in the Protestant side? Like, who did he go to?
Did he just tell? Like... I honestly...
Hey, you prods, let's go.
I'm pretty sure, because all of his decrees were just, like, newspaper announcements.
Are you sure he was just yelling out a window and someone was just writing it down?
It's not an old man yells at cloud situation.
Basically.
You know, it sounds like it could have been.
But honestly, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was just, like, walking around San Francisco with, like, letters of decrees to the churches, and just, like, every church he passed by, he was like, a decree for you, and a decree for you, and you get
Who needs 95 theses when you can declare yourself emperor?
Exactly.
Follow me for more history jokes.
Oh, man. Which, again, I feel like this man does not understand the fundamentals of Catholicism if he thinks that the Catholics and the Protestants are going to agree on anything ever, especially if that thing is making him the emperor.
Right.
But one might do it if the other refuses.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You're not wrong.
Oh, the Episcopalians are going to crown him emperor?
When they still hated each other, like, vehemently.
Yeah.
So.
Ugh.
But part of his reasoning for wanting them to ordain him as emperor was that he was hoping to resolve disputes that had resulted in the Civil War.
The Civil War was not a religious debate, but
that's very
buddy.
good of him.
Right, and I also...
was not the central issue of this. If it was the Troubles, maybe,
don't
but
know,
like...
Well, and, like, I don't understand his thinking with... Was it like, oh, if you make me emperor, I'll resolve the Civil War. There will be no war. Everything will be fine. And I'm like...
And everyone was bold. Like, what?
Right? Everyone who read that decree in the paper was like, oh, there's Joshua again. Back to his old antics. Joshua.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all I got. Okay.
But yeah, obviously, no church ordained him as emperor. Because
what? We're also
that's
not
not
a
how this
theocracy,
works.
so like that wouldn't work anyway. Like
exactly.
Well, I mean, that's how the Holy Roman Empire started, was like, the Pope was like, hey, come over for Christmas. Guess what? You're the emperor. Woohoo!
Guess what? God believes in you. We believe in you. I don't know.
Anyway, you're in
Go
charge.
conquer some people.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But he also declared the abolition of the Republican and Democratic parties on August 12th, 1869, wanting to rid the country of the strife caused by a two-party system.
You know, that is a really good idea. I like this guy a
Again,
lot.
I
Good
don't
idea, bad
disagree with him there.
I'm gonna call some people at church and see if I can get him set up.
Right, Hannah, you get on that Catholic church, I'll get on the Protestant side. I guess I'll step foot in a church again.
You probably be struck call down. All the Protestants. Just say, hello, Protestants. That's how you work, right?
I'll just be like, hey, guys, so I know I haven't been to church in like a good 5 years, and I don't like you guys anymore, but like this dude, he's our emperor. Okay. Also, he's very dead, but you know.
Yeah. That is the fundamental flaw of our system, is that we only have two big, like, parties. I don't disagree with a lot of stuff that he says.
Getting rid of a two-party system, because, like, that's a big problem, but,
Why didn't he just run for something? He probably would have won. Like,
I wish I knew. Because... Go ahead.
I don't know his thought process. He's just some kook from San Francisco.
If we were able to prove
a
this,
fair amount of good ideas.
Yeah, I would bet actual money that he would have been elected just because he was kooky.
Okay, but like the thing is, and I'll kind of get into it, but like the people of San Francisco like went along with it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's what I mean. They would have elected him to something.
Right, like at least like mayor or something.
Like city council, I don't know.
Right, and like just work your way up, my dude. Cause,
I mean, New Zealand had a wizard until very recently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was an elected
position. The things you could get people to go along with just for like humor's sake, like.
Yeah. Like. Yeah.
But then you actually turn out to have good ideas and be good at your job, like. You could have gone so far, my man, but...
History could have been so different if he had just run for office.
God, if we had just let the emperor do what he wanted. God.
Oh, man.
Instead, we have Congress. Gross. Anyway, slide 9. Okay. So this is just...
He made money?
There's money!
The city of San Francisco, printed money with his face on it.
Wait. San Francisco paid for this?
Yes. Or, some, company, I couldn't quite find, who exactly printed this money.
Okay, was this legal tender, or was this just, a fake certificate
No,
thing?
it was not legal tender for anybody except for Joshua Norton.
Oh, my God.
So, basically, it was, businesses that he frequented would essentially they just gave him free food and free stuff
because a gift certificate.
It was some business bureau, I believe. It was either the city of San Francisco or some business bureau printed this money for him, and the businesses that he was a regular at would take this as legal tender.
That is
amazing. Do you guys accept Norton bucks here?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, I love it.
Okay, I really want to know if this man is delusional, if he's just crazy and they're yeah, let's go along with it, it's fun. Or if he's dead serious, or I don't know, maybe scamming, I don't know. This is crazy.
Right, I just want to know what the thought process for the entire city of San Francisco was in this instance.
Hey, you all
I
want
know
an
that
emperor?
I as a person would go along with it. I'd be yeah, that dude, he's our emperor, sure, totally. But
God
that's
save the
me
emperor.
In 2021. So what was going on in San Francisco in the 1860s?
You know, everyone was, like, super bummed out about the war, and they're like, let's just have an emperor.
Right?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, we're far removed from, DC, so it's fine. Just let him do what he wants. He's harmless.
He's not hurting anyone.
Exactly. Like, he was pretty much harmless, and so...
Yeah, like, if he was, like, planning to attack the Capitol, maybe. What?
Like, if he was staging a coup.
But he just issued decrees that everybody ignored. It's not like he actually, like, planned a revolt or a coup or anything. He was just like, the army go depose Congress, and the army was like, yeah, no, fuck that.
He basically just wrote letters to the editor. Like, that's all he did. Those don't do anything.
Exactly. So, some more of his imperial decrees. So he issued instructions to form a League of Nations.
Man, he's so ahead of the times. I love him so much.
I know.
Honestly, like, some of the things that he, like, decreed were actually, like, pretty decent things.
Yeah.
So he did the League of Nations. He forbade any form of conflict between different religions or their different, like, sects.
I love him so much.
So.
All right.
Right, like, I want this dude to be emperor. Okay.
Yeah.
He decreed the construction of a suspension bridge or a tunnel to connect San Francisco to Oakland.
Well, like, literally, like, 100 years ahead of his time.
Exactly.
I have chills. I love him so much. Can we clone him?
Right? Like, I love this
Where
man.
are his bones?
I trust him more than our current politicians.
Exactly.
Which is
exactly. Which, speaking of the bridge, obviously, because no one actually paid any real attention to his decrees, the bridge was not built at that time. Mm-hmm. However, there are, like, historians in San Francisco, or just, like, in general, and there's, like, historical societies and stuff that are fighting to have the bridge renamed to the John Norton Bridge. Or at least have it added as, like, a little addendum to the name for the bridge that is there.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
Because he was the original idea man for this bridge. Like, and it sounds...
There are dumber names for bridges.
To it.
Like
the one in St. Louis.
Oh my god.
Frickin' Missouri and Illinois couldn't agree, so now it has two names.
Yeah, it's the... What is it?
Veterans Memorial.
Yeah. / Stan Musial Bridge.
Yeah.
It's called the Stan Span, so...
Yeah, I just call it the New Bridge.
Literally, everyone just calls it the New Bridge.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Stan Musial
or the I-70 Bridge. Like, that's what it is.
Stan Musial was a Cardinals player back in the day, and he was, like, one of the best ones they ever had. And so when they were building the bridge... St. Louis
is, like, crazy for the Cardinals, which, I mean, understandable. Every city is crazy for their team, but...
Yeah. And so when they were building this bridge, like, Missouri and Illinois split the bill, because you're going from Illinois to Missouri, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
and
the river is the dividing line.
Yeah, and so obviously the people in Missouri were like, name it the Stan Musial Bridge, but the people in Illinois were like, we're not going to do that because we, as Illinoisans in, the middle of the state, are not Cardinals fans, we're Cubs fans. Plus they just didn't want...
we are not, because, that's the thing, is, like, the people who were deciding the name for the Illinois side were in Chicago, and so they were like, oh, Cubs, and... Literally all of us in the area were like...
people who live down here are
honestly,
like, no,
just name it the
Cardinals?
Stan Musial Bridge. Like, and when they suggested the, like, Veterans Memorial Bridge, like...
everyone was like, fine, we'll just do both
veterans, whatever.
Right, like, but the veterans have so much named after them already.
Anyway, it's the bridge that goes to the airport the fastest.
I am not hating on veterans, okay? That is not me hating on veterans. That is me hating on the stupid name of our bridge.
Belated Veterans Day.
It's such like a Parks and Rec
belated
thing
Veterans Day.
That they would just smush the name together instead of just coming to a compromise. Like, it seems like a Parks
or just
and Rec
like
skit.
throw out both names and start with something more neutral. Like,
literally just call it the I-70 Bridge.
Right, like it's not that hard.
Whatever.
Name it after the architect who gives a fuck. Like,
right, like...
Oh,
right, it's a bridge. Why does it need a name?
The Eads Bridge is named after the architect, if I remember correctly.
Like, well, the JB Bridge is just named after Jefferson
It's Jefferson Barracks. Yeah.
Right? Which is just, like, the fort that's there.
Yeah. Like, it's...
So, like...
fucking stupid.
Not that... It's It's fucking stupid. That's what it is.
I wonder
And
what the MLK bridge is named after.
Yes.
They did change MLK Boulevard to Barack Obama Boulevard, though.
They did, yeah.
They did, but it's still the MLK bridge.
Yeah, he gets a whole bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Obama gets a
Obama
boulevard.
just gets a road.
Yeah.
Thanks,
That's
Obama.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
Anyway, that was
my
the
gosh.
history of roads and shit and infrastructure in Missouri, St. Louis.
Stupid bridge names in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
No, you said thanks, Obama, and I just have to say this real quick. My friend Maddie went to go fill up her tank with gas the other day, and obviously, like, gas prices are very high right now. And so someone tried to write thanks Biden on the, like,
On the pump?
on the pump, but they spelled thanks wrong
Oh my god.
4 times.
How?
4 times.
What did they
Literally,
put?
like, you could see it, like, crossed out each
Oh.
time, like, scribbled out. And then it finally said, thanks, Biden.
Oh my
And
god.
my friend Maddie, like, sent it to me, and she was like, spelling is hard.
It's not even, like, I don't want to say it's not even that high, but, like, when I started
Right, like-
driving, gas was $3.99.
I was gonna say, like, gas has been $4 before, so,
Yeah.
like...
And it's
I'm
not there
not-
now. It's not, it's like, what, $3.50-ish? $3.40-ish?
Yeah, in Champaign, it's,
In
like,
Illinois?
$3.49 currently.
Yeah. Well, in Illinois is always higher because
And
we
down
tax
by
it
my
different.
parents, it was $3.29.
Yeah.
So, like, Illinois regularly has, like, the highest gas prices. But anyway, it just, like, made me laugh.
God damn,
And,
people are stupid.
Like, people have their opinions on gas prices and the government and whatever. But not getting into that argument. Anyway, I just thought it was funny that someone spelled thanks wrong
Yes.
4 times.
There's a sign that I drive past a lot that says Trump 2024.
Yep. 4.
Yes.
Gross.
No. But clearly underneath it you can see a 5 that got spray painted over.
I
Because they
love
did it
that
wrong.
so much. I love that. Oh, I love people.
Oh,
They're
that's
so
hysterical.
Anyway, not saying that those two things are related, but they might be
Right,
related.
like, not saying.
Anyway, the
but
two-party
there
system
a
is stupid, and I
correlation.
agree with the Emperor.
Yes.
Yes, I do agree with the Emperor. The two-party system is stupid, and we need a bridge. And, okay, so, again, obviously, most, if not all, of his decrees were largely ignored.
Yes.
Because, yeah.
He's literally
'cause.
just talking. Like, I don't know
Exactly.
what else he expected
He's literally
to
just writing to the editor.
Yeah.
Also, like, props to whoever kept putting these in the paper. And you can just, like, Google, like, Emperor Norton, like, proclamation, and you can, like, find copies of all of them.
Yay.
And I love the way they're all written, because he's always like, we, Norton the First, and I'm like, oh, the royal we.
It's literally the royal we. I love it.
But yeah, so his decrees were largely ignored, and so, like, if you read some of his, like, later decrees, like, later in his life, they kind of take on a tone of annoyance in the fact that, like, his orders weren't being followed.
I declared
cracks me up.
pigeons illegal last week. Why aren't they gone?
He's like, I'm pretty sure I told you guys, like, 5 years ago that we need a bridge across this bay. Anyone gonna get on that anytime soon?
Why don't we
no.
have a bridge yet?
No, I just want to go to Oakland.
I also had a vision that it's going to be in a really shitty movie called X-Men 3. Or,
Right.
whatever that one was called. I don't even remember.
I don't even know. I don't know.
But it'll be really shitty and everyone will be disappointed.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so slide 10. This is gonna have like the most information just because I got tired of making slides, but also I just love this picture. This is someone dressing up as Emperor
I'm
Norton.
gonna scream.
But this is why I think that Thomas should do it, because like it just
It
I
fits,
don't know Thomas at all, but it just screams Thomas to
it
me.
fits the vibe that we have been presented with.
Yes. And you are welcome to tell him that that is the
Yes.
vibe that I get from him.
He is just An old Civil War something with a fancy hat.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so basically, when he wasn't giving decrees, Norton spent his days inspecting the streets of San Francisco while wearing an elaborate blue uniform with gold-plated decorations.
That is bright for that era.
Yes. So the picture that was like 2 slides ago, that is like a rendition of what he was like
Gotcha.
usually seen
Okay.
wearing. Yeah.
It just looks like a Union Army.
Yeah, it was basically like a military uniform. However, it was like a brighter blue than the...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It wasn't, coated in mud and stuff.
Blood.
Because he didn't actually, like, go to war. But yeah. And he also wore a beaver hat decorated with peacock feathers and a rosette. So.
I love it so much.
I know.
I want him to be
beautiful.
the emperor.
Right? Like, I would trust this man to be emperor, okay?
Yes.
But he was also usually seen holding a cane or an umbrella of some sort because it further added to his regal aura.
All right. I'll accept that.
Supposedly, right? I was like, I mean, if I saw this dude walking down the street with a beaver hat full of ostrich feathers and a rosette and holding a cane, I'd be like...
they are peacock feathers.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could also see him as like some kind of quirky riverboat captain too, who like kind of
Yes.
comes, like maybe stole the ship, but is like, come on,
Like,
let's
this
go.
dude could be an over the garden wall.
I was gonna say, and then the
Yeah.
band is all frogs, and like,
Yes.
Right?
he's just there
Yeah,
like, children,
100%.
listen.
Yes. But yeah, so he would inspect the streets. Basically, he would check on the condition of the sidewalks, the cable cars, the state of repairs on public property, and the appearance of police officers. And he would also, in his walks around the city, because obviously he has no authority over any of those things, so, like, he's just checking on them and being like, ah, yes, that sidewalk has a crack. But he would also give lengthy philosophical expositions to whoever was in earshot.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Like,
I
did not
love him
care if you
so
were
much.
listening, did not care if you were interested. He would just sit there and prattle on and on and on at you in his beautiful attire, in his regal aura. And I love this man.
I love it too. I'm voting for him.
Right? Next election, I'm writing in Emperor Norton. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
That's a waste of your vote, but also
Yes. That is not actual advice. Okay, that is...
We are not
making a
providing
joke.
actual advice on how to vote in the next election.
Okay.
disclaimer.
Do not do that, please and thank you. Please use your vote for, like, actual things.
Yes.
Anyway. Okay, so at one point, there was an officer from, like, a local auxiliary force. They called themselves policemen, but they were, like, private security guards paid by neighborhood residents and business owners. So they weren't, like,
so
official
like the
police.
mob.
More like a neighborhood watch.
So like
But
the
yes.
mob.
Yes.
Well,
yes,
wait, what year
so-
would this have been in?
Let me see. This is 1867.
Yeah, police weren't like really a thing yet.
No, they
Not
weren't.
the way we think of it, so
yeah,
that's
it was
probably the
more
best they
of-
could do.
Yeah, because, and this is my knowledge from, like, taking tours around Savannah, but it was, like, each, like, neighborhood or block or square or whatever would kind of have their own little, like, neighborhood force, per
Yeah.
se. And they were, like, the policemen, the firemen, the security, like,
The butcher, the
yeah,
baker,
basically
the
just like
candlestick
a
maker.
yeah, they were just like an elevated neighborhood watch, basically.
Yeah.
Took care of the neighborhood. So that's basically what these people were. But this officer, Barbier, I guess I don't know how to say his name, but that's how I'm going to say it. He arrested Norton in 1867.
How dare
I know.
Not the emperor.
He arrested him to commit him to involuntary treatment for a mental disorder.
No!
I know.
I mean, I get where he's coming from.
I'm so mad.
I get where he's coming from.
From a, like, objective point of view, I get it.
I get
However,
it. I don't support it, but I get it.
However, that is our emperor.
Okay.
God damn it.
Did Norton claim sovereign immunity? Please tell me he claimed sovereign immunity for being arrested.
Not.
Damn it.
He did not. However...
And I get to steal this car!
However, the citizens of San Francisco were so outraged by his arrest that they started writing, like, such scathing editorials in the newspapers like, for this officer and for the, like, auxiliary force that he was part of. And they basically claimed that he had shed no blood, robbed no one, and despoiled no country, which is more than can be said of his fellows in that line.
Oh.
And so the actual police chief, Patrick Crowley, I just realized his name, he ordered Norton released and issued a formal apology on behalf of the police force.
Holy shit.
And Norton granted an imperial pardon to Officer Barbier.
Oh, good.
So it wasn't sovereign immunity, but it was almost just as good.
God, I wish he would have tried to claim sovereign immunity. That would have made my entire fucking life.
I just love that he granted an imperial pardon.
And
then the people of San Francisco were so upset by this man being arrested.
Like, he isn't harming anyone. And,
like
normally...
the closest I can think of for, like our area would be, like, Susan.
Yes.
However, Susan
did harm people.
Susan does harm people.
Susan harms
went to
people
jail
and
for
causes
harming
disturbances, and Susan gets arrested regularly.
Yes.
However, as far as, like,
arrested
local
regularly.
cryptids go, that's what this man was to San Francisco. He was their local cryptid.
Why isn't he on their, like, flag?
Susan's cryptidness is not necessarily why people don't like Susan. People don't like Susan because she slashes tires.
And threatens children.
Yeah.
She threatens children. She slashes tires. She shows up unannounced and unwelcome at public events.
Yes.
Which I know they're
And private
public.
events.
However.
And private events, yes.
Yeah, and private events.
Yes.
And performs interpretive dances in very odd outfits.
That nobody
And
asked
music
for.
that only
Usually
she can hear.
highly intoxicated.
Yes. The thing is, in addition to that, he isn't harming anyone.
She's such a cryptid.
I don't know what the rules were back then, but nowadays, you can only be involuntarily committed if you are at risk of harming yourself or someone else. I'm assuming it was something similar. I don't know what the rules were back then.
They could have argued that he, like, wasn't paying for shit because, you know, he had fake money, but
that wouldn't be commitment, though. That would just be arresting for, like, theft
But
or
no, but he
something.
thinks that it's real money.
But the businesses aren't complaining either, so,
I know,
like, the
that's what I'm
businesses
saying.
were, like,
I'm just
in
trying to
on it.
justify
Yeah.
it for that guy, but clearly
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
justification.
he's not harming anybody. Just let him be crazy. Like, it's
God,
fine.
he's the friggin'
Right,
emperor.
like,
Why
he's
would
just
you
walking around the streets being like, ah, yes, a crack.
Someone should fix that.
Someone
guess that
fetch
would be
my
me.
royal vizier.
Let me send a decree to the editor-in-chief of the newspaper. Someone fix the crack on 6th Street.
I banish this sidewalk crack.
What if he had tried to banish that police officer?
Oh my god. Yes.
No, but he's such a good emperor. He's so
I know. He's so forgiving.
so good, so benevolent.
He's so modern and forward-thinking.
Yes.
And
oh my
damn
god.
it, just somebody give him that bridge.
This is my favorite thing
Right,
ever.
just
I'm
give him
so
his
glad.
bridge.
I'm so glad you're covering this.
I
I love how you were like, I hope you guys find this interesting.
Right?
Oh, Thomas
How
says,
could we
wait, I
not?
think I've heard of this guy.
Right. I just... Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, and then the best part of this story here of, like, him being arrested and then released and his imperial pardon is that from that point forward for the rest of his life, the police officers of San Francisco saluted him as he passed in the street.
Can you repeat that?
For the rest of his life, The police officers of San Francisco saluted him as he passed in the street.
God bless. I love it.
Like, the
As
fact
he
that the
deserves.
as he deserves. Like, long live the emperor. May he rest in peace. Okay? God. I love this man. And I love his story. And I just love the city of San Francisco for doing this.
Yes.
Like, I know nothing about San Francisco other than they have a bridge. And this man, the fact that they just, like, let him do what he wanted. And they were like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's the emperor, so everyone shut up about it.
Yeah, he's the emperor.
Yes.
Okay, I've decided that this is when and where I would like to time travel.
Yes.
Right? Right. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and so, like, that's really all there is about, like, I mean, I'm gonna talk about some more stuff. I'm not done. However, in 1870, a U.S. Census list, has him listed as 50 years old and residing at 624 Commercial Street, and his occupation is listed as emperor.
Yes!
So it is officially on the U.S. Census that he is the emperor. However, it also notes that he was insane. So they were like, he's the emperor, asterisk.
Town lunatic.
Yes. Oh.
That's amazing. Was that
Did you
it?
guys
Or is
hear
there
that
more?
airplane? Though?
No, sorry. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Yes,
like,
Hannah, I did hear
blacked
the
out for a
airplane noise.
It just was so loud.
Yes.
So then, this is kind of a thing. In the 1860s and 1870s, there were occasional, like, anti-Chinese demonstrations in the poorer districts of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
And there would be, like, riots and stuff that sometimes resulted in fatalities. A lot of these rallies were led by a Dennis Kearney. He was the leader of the anti-Chinese Workingmen's Party of California, and the fact that this shit still goes on irritates me so much. But again, not getting into that.
Wait. The organization was called the Anti-Chinese Workers, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Yes, the Workingmen's Party of California.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so specifically racist.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't called the Anti-Chinese. It was called the Workingmen's Party of California. However, the Workingmen's Party of California was anti-Chinese.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow,
Sorry.
that's very bold of
Yeah.
them to put it in their name.
It wouldn't have surprised me if that was in their name.
Hyphen.
Yeah, but by what's
anti-Chinese.
hyperlinked on Wikipedia, it's anti-Chinese isn't part of their name.
Okay.
So, but yes, so these rallies were held by them, and then at one particular rally held in 1878, Emperor Norton appeared just before the start of the proceedings, stood on a small box, and challenged Kearney directly, telling him and the assembled crowd to disperse and go home.
How'd that work out for him?
It was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
But the incident was widely reported in local papers over the next couple of days. I love that he's standing up for them.
Tried. Yeah.
He tried. He was like, you people, shut the fuck up. Stop being racist.
I'm
Go
the
home.
emperor.
I'm the
Decree,
emperor.
decree.
Do as I say.
That
I
sidewalk
made a
has a
decree.
crack. All of you bitches go home.
Yes. Yes. No, that's about the money. We already talked about that. Okay, so anyway. So the city of San Francisco also honored Norton, and when his uniform began to look shabby, the San Francisco Board of Supervisors bought him a suitably imperial replacement.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Norton sent a gracious thank you note and issued a patent of nobility in perpetuity for each supervisor.
Oh my god, they all became
Wait, can you
nobles.
Can you repeat that? Sorry.
Norton sent a gracious thank you note for his new uniform and issued a patent of nobility in perpetuity for each supervisor.
Thank you.
Yes, all of that was in
lost in
quotes.
there.
It is, yeah. There's a lot of words there.
Yeah.
Basically, he just gave them all a title of nobility.
Yeah, he basically knighted them all through a letter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
He was
you're all
like, I'm the
nobles now."
emperor and you are all knights. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. So some of his diplomatic efforts is how also all of my sources or Wikipedia, and then like the San Francisco like tourist website, one of them. But Wikipedia listed this as his diplomatic efforts, so that's what I am going to call them. I'm not sure that is a proper title, but I'm not sure what else you would call them. So, throughout his 21-year reign, Norton sent multiple letters to attempt to establish diplomatic relations with foreign leaders to various degrees of success. So one of the ones that was actually like relatively successful is that he sent multiple letters to Kamehameha the Fifth, the king of Hawaii at the time. And basically the letters were regarding an estate in Hawaii, and near the end of his reign, Kamehameha would refuse to recognize the democratic U.S. government, instead opting to only recognize Norton as sole leader of the United States.
This guy. That's so amazing!
And the fact that that was not mentioned in your research when you did Kamehameha.
I'm sorry. Okay, I didn't.
No.
I'm
not mad at you about that. I'm mad at the historical documents for not adding that as even just a tiny little blip.
Like, to be fair, that episode was about Lily Uokalani, not about Kamehameha.
I know.
If it had been about Kamehameha, I would have included that.
Right?
What a beautiful story, Shelby.
It's so much that he's like, the U.S. government is trash, but this emperor, though,
I love that. I love that so much.
It's so cute. In a really terrible way.
Yes.
It's so cute. He just wants to be friends. And then he also wrote to Queen Victoria multiple letters suggesting they could marry to strengthen ties between their nations.
Oh my god.
Which ultimately proved futile, as the queen would never respond. And I just... As someone who knows, like, way too much about Queen Victoria, because I did way too many reports on her, I could just see that marriage being so crazy. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Shannon, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just imagining that ship.
I've been giggling.
Okay, and then as far as, because at the very, very beginning on the title slide, I said that his title was Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. Here's why he was Protector of Mexico, and why he added it to his title. So in the 1860s, Mexico was invaded by Napoleon. After not being able to pay war reparations, blah, blah, blah. And when the news reached the United States, some random man in San Francisco suggested that Emperor Norton should take the title of Protector of Mexico, as no one had been appointed protector yet, and because of a popular legend stating Norton was the son of Napoleon III.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Okay.
Obviously not. I think people were just like,
why not?
Spreading rumors. They were like, as crazy as you can get it. But Norton happily obliged and added the title to his titles.
Of course I'm Protector of Mexico. I'm the Emperor.
Right. He did, however, later revoke the this particular title, stating, quote, "It is impossible to protect such an unsettled nation," end quote. So.
Yeah.
That's the one problematic thing you've said so far, guy.
Right? You know.
To be fair, Mexico was in...
To be fair, he is one man.
Well,
and
in Mexico
was in a lot of
crisis.
Yeah.
crisis at the time.
Yeah. I think by unsettled he means chaotic, not like uncivilized.
Yeah. No. I know what he means.
Yeah. Although I do find it funny.
Yeah, that is what he meant.
Yeah, I do find it funny. He's like, I can handle dissolving Congress. I cannot handle Mexico on top
Listen,
of that.
Mexico, if you
I
can
can end
together.
the Civil War if the Roman Catholic Church will just announce me publicly.
The Pope won't
However.
answer my emails. By the way, I invented emails after I invented the bridge.
I send my emails across my bridge.
Via carrier pigeon. I'm gonna write a novel about this man.
Please do.
Oh my god.
Maisie, quit hooting.
Yeah.
She hoots. She goes, hoot. That's all she does. It's funny.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Great hoot.
Oh
my god, Norton, here's a hoot. I've honestly been sitting on that joke since the very beginning, but I couldn't find a place to put it, and now you've
We got it.
I love it.
Norton,
I
here's
love
a hoot.
it. Norton, here's a hoot. Norton gives a
that's
hoot.
hysterical. Okay.
Yes. So.
Oh my god, that could have been his
Okay.
running slogan had Dr. Seuss already written that book, but that wasn't until much later.
Oh my gosh. If he had run for office, his slogan could have been Norton gives a hoot.
Yes, it does. Sorry, I'm opening a pack of M&M's.
I can hear that. That's
I'm
okay.
done.
It's okay.
Okay. So, anyway, this guy, we just need to, like, raise him from the dead and then have him run for president so he can be emperor. Okay.
Yes.
We are in charge of his campaign.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm here for it. So yeah, that is most of the information on Joshua Norton. I mean, obviously I could have gone into like all of his decrees, but that's not necessary. You can look them up. They're great. They're fantastic. So basically on the evening of January 8th, 1880, Norton collapsed on the corner of California Street and DuPont Street, which is now Grant Avenue.
They didn't name it after him.
I know. Yeah.
Ugh.
He was on his way to a lecture at the California Academy of Sciences.
Oh.
I know.
Where he was going to declare himself king of space.
Most likely.
Probably.
So his collapse was immediately noticed, and the police officer on the beat hastened for a carriage to convey him to the city receiving hospital. According to his obituary, he passed away before a carriage could arrive. And this is so sad. So the San Francisco Morning Call, which is like a paper, reported, quote, "On the reeking pavement in the darkness of a moonless night under the dripping rain, Norton the First, by the grace of God, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico, departed this life."
Oh my god!
Which is so freaking sad. Like, did you have to make it so dreary?
That's good writing.
It is. I love that they all were just like, this man is my emperor. I fully accept this. We're just gonna roll with it. I love it so much.
Right?
I love it so much.
Yeah. And then upon his death, it became quickly evident that he died in complete poverty, because there had been rumors that he was actually, like, rather wealthy.
Well,
they
he lost
found,
all his
like-
money to the rice. So.
Right? Yeah. They found
totally
like
forgot about
$5
that.
or $6 in small change on his person, and then a search of his room at the boarding house turned up a single gold sovereign, which was worth about $2.50. His
So,
possessions
like, legit poverty. He
yeah,
had $7
like, the man
to
had
his name.
$7 to his name. Okay,
Well, he had all
Yeah.
those Norton
but
bucks.
he did.
He did.
Have
He had all
all
his
of
Norton
his
bucks.
own money. He had his Norton bucks, which were good everywhere. So
Redeemable at any fine retailer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which, like, he probably didn't need money, like, actual, like, legal tender in the U.S. because
Right,
he had
yeah.
his Norton bucks.
Yes.
Friggin' emperor!
Why does he need money?
He's the
freaking
emperor. He can do what he wants. His possessions included his collection of walking sticks, his rather battered saber, a variety of headgear including a stovepipe, a derby, a red-laced army cap, and another cap suited to a martial band master, and an 1828 French franc. and a handful of the imperial bonds that he sold to tourists at a fictitious 7% interest rate.
Oh,
Which I
God.
just now found out about reading that sentence. Should have read that beforehand. But apparently he sold bonds.
All right.
Imperial bonds.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh. And then initial funeral arrangements were made for a pauper's coffin of simple redwood. However, members of a San Francisco Businessmen's Association called the Pacific Club established a funeral fund that provided for a handsome rosewood casket and arranged a dignified farewell.
I was gonna say, there's no way they're burying that guy in a simple box.
No. Norton's funeral on Sunday, January 10th was solemn, mournful, and large. Paying their respects were members of all classes from capitalists to the pauper, the clergyman to the pickpocket, well-dressed ladies, and those whose garb and bearing hinted of the social outcast. That was all a quote, by the way, because I don't
Yeah, I
like
can
that.
tell. We don't write like that anymore.
Shelby, y'all got fancy
It
real
was
now.
reported that as many as 10,000 people
Holy shit.
lined the streets, and that the funeral was 2 miles long. Like the funeral procession.
Yeah.
You know, I don't fucking care what history says. This guy was the emperor of the United
Yes,
States.
he was.
Exactly.
He was at the very least the emperor of San Francisco. Like,
Yes, Norton was buried in the Masonic Cemetery at the expense of the city of San Francisco. In 1934, Emperor Norton's remains were transferred to a gravesite at Woodlawn Memorial Park Cemetery in Colma, California. So,
well, I love this so much.
I love our great emperor,
Yes.
Norton the First.
Long live
First
the
of
emperor.
his name.
Yes.
May he rest in peace.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I love this man so much.
I think Shannon's in tears.
Yes. Yeah, so there are, like, fights to have the bridge, like, his name added to the bridge in some way. Obviously, that's still a whatever. But in 1939, a plaque commemorating Norton's role in the history of the Bay Bridge was, well, it was originally at the Cliff House in San Francisco, and now it is at the Trans-Bay Transit Center.
They could have at least named the street where he died after him.
Right, like something like that. Yeah, and then apparently Mark Twain modeled the character of the king in Adventures of Huckleberry Finn on Emperor Norton. And then Robert Louis Stevenson made Norton a character in his novel The Wrecker.
I read that.
So, yeah.
Cool.
And then, since 1974, the Imperial Council of San Francisco has been conducting an annual pilgrimage to Norton's grave in Colma, just outside of San Francisco.
I love that.
And then in January 1980, ceremonies were conducted in San Francisco to honor the 100th anniversary of the death of the one and only Emperor of the United States.
I love that people are still, like, keeping up with
Yeah,
that,
I
like,
mean, like,
100
this
years
picture
later.
on this last slide is, like, a dude dressed up as him.
Yeah.
Like, the people of San Francisco, like, still, I mean, obviously not everyone, because it's not, like, a historical, but, like, it's not exactly forgotten.
Oh my god, I love this so much.
Right, like I said, it's mostly, like, historical societies and stuff like that, but it's, like, people still recognize him, and I love that for him.
I love it so much.
Like, he will go down in history as the one and only emperor of
Yes.
the United States.
Yes.
I'd vote for him.
And
Yes.
it's beautiful.
Yes.
It's a beautiful, heartwarming story.
Listen, I'll call the Pope and get him reverse canonized or whatever.
Right?
I mean, he
So.
was recognized as emperor by at least one foreign country, so, like...
That is true.
Exactly. The King of Hawaii recognized him as the emperor.
Fuck yeah,
which I
Hawaii.
love so much.
I love
Oh
it.
my god, I'm so glad you covered that.
And, that is all I have for you.
Okay. I'm very glad that you covered that.
So,
Shelby, that was beautiful.
That was amazing.
I am glad that you enjoyed it. I
don't know why you thought we wouldn't.
doing my research on it. Honestly, I think it's the sleep deprivation.
Yeah, because, like, this is the best story I've ever heard.
Right. I think my, like, favorite niche topic that I cover is just, like, weird-ass historical figures.
Yes.
Dude, I have one for you
do
coming up
kooky
next.
shit.
Oh,
I
yeah,
am
because
so
Hannah,
excited.
you said that yours is weird, too. So.
It's
Yeah.
Yay!
Like, I don't even care about, like, weird historical events or, like, and I mean, I do, obviously, because, like, I'm on this podcast with you guys and, like, whatnot, but, like, my own personal topics that I cover, these are my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So, just because they're so fun.
Love it.
But yeah, so our ending is that we have no ending. Long live the Emperor.
Long live the Emperor.
Long live the Emperor.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Goodbye.